Hi everybody, this is Chris Gray with Placer County's Communications and Public Affairs Office, and we're here today in Rockland at our Veterans Services Office, where we're going to be unveiling a new dedicated parking spot just for Purple Heart recipients in Placer County. But before we did that, we just wanted to talk a little bit about why we've decided to do this and to take the occasion to acknowledge and honor our Purple Heart recipients and other Placer County Veteran Service members. So joining us here today are District 2 Supervisor and Chair of our Board of Supervisors, Robert Wygant, our Veteran Services Officer for Placer County, Derek Oliveira, himself a Navy veteran, and some special guests from the Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 385, including Purple Heart recipient and U.S. Army Sergeant, veteran of the Vietnam War, Ron Manjarrez. So Supervisor Wygant, can you tell us a little bit about why it's important for the county to honor our veterans in this way?
Well, obviously, we all rely on those who are willing to undertake public service, and Purple Heart recipients obviously risked everything to provide for that. So it's just an essential requirement that we never forget that and make sure we remember.
And what are you hoping that our Purple Heart recipients, what message do you hope they'll take away when they pull up and see that parking spot for them?
I hope that the Purple Heart recipients just acknowledge the fact that we are working to constantly make that acknowledgement and remember their effort and their sacrifice.
Thank you very much. Derek, a couple questions for you. So Derek, for those who might not be familiar with it, can you tell us a little bit about the significance of the Purple Heart Medal?
Yeah, sure. So the Purple Heart is really a badge of honor and courage. It testifies to the brave men and women who either were killed or wounded in action while in combat in defense of our country. I think the Purple Heart reminds us that freedom comes at a cost, and we should not take our freedom for granted.
So how did it come about, this idea of putting out a parking spot here just for Purple Heart recipients?
Well, last fall, the Placer County Board of Supervisors approved a resolution that declared Placer County a Purple Heart County. And this parking spot is a special way we can honor and remember all of those Purple Heart recipients.
And for those folks who are coming to see at the Veteran Services Office, what kind of things are we doing for them? What kind of services do we provide?
Well, the primary goal of the Veteran Services Office is to help each veteran live the highest quality of life. We can connect Purple Heart veterans to their VA benefits, such as VA health care or compensation for service-connected disabilities. We also can connect dependents of Purple Heart recipients to their benefits. For example, the California College Tuition Fee Waiver, which connects dependents of disabled veterans to their to tuition-free attendance at a JC, CSU, or UC.
Got it. Okay, well, thank you very much. I think without further ado, Ron, let's go ahead and have you unveil the sign. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much again for joining us today. We look forward to continuing to serve our veterans at the Placer County Veteran Service Office. Thank you for tuning in.